Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. The Houston Astros will play game number 67 against the Chicago White Sox. Hopefully, the Astros get back on the board with a W after losing 2 straight games. Not many times the Astros have lost 3 games in a row this year. It's only happened like 2 or 3 times. Last time it happened was when the Astros were in Milwaukee. The Astros were in Milwaukee and had lost the series finale of the series before that. The Astros had played in Chicago against, actually, funny enough, the White Sox were a part of the last 3-game losing streak the Astros had. The Astros had lost a series finale against Chicago White Sox and then lost the first 2 games of an opener of a series against the Milwaukee Brewers. That was the last time the Astros lost 3 in a row. They also got swept by the Giants. That's another thing. The Astros have not many times this year the Astros have lost 2 games in a row at home. The last time it happened for the Houston Astros was when the Astros got swept by the San Francisco Giants. That was game 4, 5, and 6 of the season. That was the last time the Astros lost 2 games in a row at home. That will be on the line tonight for the Astros. Also tonight on the line for the Astros. If they lose this game tonight, it's a series loss. That will be the first series loss for the Astros at home since that sweep against the Giants. And you've seen 11 series at home this year. 9 series won, 1 tie, 1 loss. Not many series losses. That second series loss at home could come tonight with a loss. But what is the matchup tonight? It is Ryan Gusto going up against Burke. It's going to be Sean Burke versus Ryan Gusto. So 2 guys who struggled this year. Look, that can be a good thing for this offense for the Astros today. Try to get going. Sean Burke 4.03 ERA, 3-6 record. Ryan Gusto 4.78 ERA, 3-3 record. Good thing for Gusto is you could look at this as an easier matchup for Gusto to try to get going against compared to some of his last opponents and before this. So that is the one thing I look at. But look, this White Sox offense didn't even look that great yesterday. It was the Astros offense that looked terrible. The Astros only put up 2 runs. Were 1 for 6 in runners scoring position. The White Sox only had 4 hits. They didn't have any hits after Lance McCullers Jr. came out of the game. The bullpen pitched 4 innings yesterday, didn't give up any hits. They did their damage through walks yesterday. That's something this Astros pitching has to do a better job with, because hits, they weren't doing a lot of damage with their hits yesterday. They were doing their damage with 8 walks. So if you send 12 guys to the plate, if you send 12 guys on base and only 4 of them are because of hits, that's not good. And so, but that needs to be better today for the Astros. One thing I want to talk about is these Astros team offensively in the last 11 games, it's been horrendous. I'm sorry. It's been really bad. This is starting against that Tampa series, the Astros. And look, I will say this. Even though the numbers have been bad, offensively, and I'm going to go over these numbers offensively, they are 6-5 in the last 11 games. Even though they have these terrible numbers in the last 11 games, they are only scoring 3 runs per game. They're only scoring 3 runs per game in the last 11 games. They're only getting 7.5 hits per game in the last 11 games. Not even 2 walks per game in the last 11 games, 1.9. They are 13 for 69 with runners in scoring position in the last 11 games, and that equals to a batting average of 188. This is the crazy thing. If you look at the Houston Astros numbers this year before the last 11 games, averages-wise, the Astros averaged 4.2 runs per game this year before the last 11 games through the first. It was through the first 60, I believe so. No, it was through, sorry, my bad. It was through the first 55 games, I believe. Yeah, through the first 55 games, the Astros averaged 4.2 runs, and now that number's gone down to 3.98 since the last 11 games. The Astros were averaging 8.5 hits per game before the last 11 games. That number's dropped down to 8.2. The Astros were averaging 3.1 walks per game when they, before the last 11 games. And now that average is now down to 2.86. The Astros were batting .254 with runners in scoring position through the first 55 games. Now, through 66 games, that number is now down to 243. So the numbers have gone down in the last 11 games. And I think what's crazy is this pitching is so good, and they've had a couple offensive games where it's just enough, where they've gone 6-5. I just read those numbers in the last 11 games where it's only 3 runs per game and only not even 8 hits per game, not even 2 walks per game, and those horrendous numbers with runners in scoring position. You would think, oh, this team, there's no way they've won 4 or 5 or 6 games in that 11 game stretch. But the fact that this team has still won 6 of those 11 games, that's crazy. And so, but those numbers need to be better tonight with Ryan Gusto on the mound. Gusto in his last outing against Pittsburgh was not great, but his offense didn't provide any runs. Last week, the Astros, when they had Ryan Gusto on the mound, they didn't even score any runs. So that needs to be better, in my opinion. Let's go with this lineup looks like today. Jeremy Pena at leadoff, at shortstop. Isak Paredes at third base at 2. Altuve at number 3 in the second base position. Yanner Diaz is at 4 at catcher. Christian Walker's at 5 at first base. DH is Victor Caratini. And number 7 is Jake Myers in center field. Number 8 is Cam Smith in right field. Jacob Milton is in left field at 9. I guess we can hope that Jacob Milton can get his first, real base hit at home. At home so in his career he's got 4 hits. He's got 2 infield hits, both at home, and he's got 2 base hits to the outfield. One was an RBI single, 2 RBI single. One was a regular base hit, and those both came in the same game against Pittsburgh, but those are on the road. So maybe we could see his first hit that's not an infield hit at home today, because his 2 hits at home so far have been infield hits. And like I talked about, Ryan Gusto's on the mound. So there's a lot on the there's a lot on the line tonight. Astros trying to keep the streak alive, not losing 3 games in a row, and then the same thing of not losing 2 games in a row at home, and then the series loss thing. The Astros have not had one since they were swept by San Francisco, which was games 4 through 6 of the season. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Astros.